Ooh.
Argentina's Atlantic coastline endured a punishing 48 hours as nature unleashed a 1-2 punch. First, a fierce sudestada hammered Monte Hermoso on May 8th. Then a powerful extratropical cyclone swept southward, bringing 7-meter waves, destructive winds, and an almost surreal seafoam phenomenon that blanketed beaches from Quequén to Necochea by Saturday morning. The sequence began Thursday night into Friday, May 8th, when a southeasterly storm surge, locally known as a sudestada, made landfall at Monte Hermoso. Unlike typical storms, this system drove water directly against the coast for hours, overwhelming containment barriers along the waterfront. The sea didn't just rise, it invaded. Water breached the Costanera, flooding the pedestrian-friendly Dufaur area and spreading into streets normally bustling with tourists and locals. What happened next shocked residents. The force of the waves scattered debris across the promenade. Cables, wood planks, nails, construction materials, all ripped from coastal structures and strewn about like toys. A lifeguard station was filmed being swept away by the churning surf, dragged from its foundation, though fortunately without causing injuries. Guard stations and Rambla paradores suffered direct impacts, with some structures partially collapsing under the relentless assault. By Friday evening, much of Monte Hermoso sat in darkness. as power lines failed across large sections of the city. Local authorities issued urgent warnings. It is extremely dangerous to be on or travel along the coastal road. The message was clear: stay away from the waterfront. The sudestada, linked to the developing extratropical cyclone, wasn't done. Its effects rippled north and south, affecting Pequén, Ingeniero White, and other coastal communities with similar flooding and wind damage. Then came Saturday morning, May 9th, and with it, something nobody expected. As the broader cyclone system intensified, bringing sustained winds of 45 kilometers per hour and gusts hitting 88 kilometers per hour along the coast, residents in Quequén and parts of Necochea stepped outside to an alien landscape. Beaches weren't just wet, they were buried under thick white foam, exceeding 60 centimeters in depth. Social media exploded with videos showing the foam flying in strong gusts, swirling around beach umbrellas near the iconic La Hélice landmark and creating what looked like snowdrifts along kilometers of coastline. Tourists laughed in disbelief as clouds of foam billowed past them. But beneath the spectacle lay serious science. The cyclone's violent wave action, producing swells up to 7 meters offshore, had churned organic matter in the seawater, proteins, lipids, decomposing algae, into a natural surfactant, creating exceptionally dense, persistent bubbles that accumulated en masse on shore. In-depth specialists noted this phenomenon, while visually stunning, signaled something concerning. The increasing frequency and intensity of such compound weather events linked to climate change. Strong winds, elevated seas, and storm surges are becoming more volatile, more unpredictable. While Quequén marveled at nature's odd artistry, other communities faced harsher realities. Necochea's Ramon Santamarina district recorded 180 millimeters of rainfall, forcing the evacuation of 10 residents to Agricultural School Number 1. In Mar del Plata, the Port Consortium activated emergency protocols, closing the south breakwater and suspending all maritime activities. The Naval Prefecture locked down Necochea's harbor. Schools closed across multiple districts. Roads flooded. Trees fell. Monte Hermoso's municipality took the drastic step of cutting power to the entire coastal zone, citing downed cables and hazardous materials washed ashore. Acting Mayor Agustin Neme of General Pueyrredon emphasized the coordinated response. We are working with civil defense and the municipal team. The coast is where we are suffering the most, and we are keeping people away. By Saturday afternoon, the National Meteorological Service downgraded alerts from orange to yellow, though wind warnings persisted. Gusts up to 70 kilometers per hour remained possible along the coast. The forecast offered cautious optimism. Winds would ease by evening, Sunday would bring calmer conditions, and recovery could begin in earnest. Yet the dual impact of these events, the sudestada's destructive surge and the cyclone's foam-filled aftermath, raises uncomfortable questions. Monte Hermoso's breached barriers, Necochea's evacuations, Mar del Plata's port closures, and Quequén's unprecedented foam accumulation aren't isolated incidents. They're symptoms of a coastline increasingly vulnerable to intensifying weather systems, where high tides, strong winds, heavy rains, and storm surges converge with devastating effect.